Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to, it looks like I'm frozen. Welcome to Authentic Points of View podcast. McKenna is back. Yay, she's here. Um, and we are excited about today's guest. You want to introduce? Okay. You want me to introduce? All right. Um, so sorry, you can tell that we haven't been, I think I'm frozen again. Am I frozen?
Oh,
Sorry, I'll look frozen. Okay. So anyway, we're gonna get it together. I've been doing lots of the episodes by myself, so I'm used to just talking. It's easy that way. Anyway, all right. So today's guest is Sam Rawlings. She is a children's creative counselor and much more. She helps with mental health and everything. So I'm very excited to have her. And go ahead, Megan.
welcome.
Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, McKenna.
Hi.
Hello. So thank you so much for coming on and speaking with us. You want to ask her?
Oh, where are you from?
She wants to know. That was say it nicely. She wants to know where you're from. She said she likes your accent.
Oh, thank you. So I'm all the way from United Kingdom, England, and I live in a town called Leeds, which is in West Yorkshire.
Oh wow, West Yorkshire. Awesome. That is really cool. I've been to England, but you haven't, huh? Not yet. You'll get there. We're gonna go. We're gonna go. It's beautiful though. All right. So just the question that we don't need to ask, but how is the weather there? Is it starting to get cooler already or?
Yeah, definitely. You can tell that autumn is here now. We had loads of rain for the last few days, and then today we've had beautiful sunshine again. So yeah, but it's such a beautiful time of the year is autumn as well.
Yeah, that's so awesome. So we're in Georgia, so in the United States, but it is still really hot. Yesterday we got in the car and it was said 102. So
Wow.
it's still really hot here.
That's hot.
It's not, I don't think the outside was that hot. It was in the 90s, but I guess just the car temperature was that hot. It was very hot. I was like, what is happening? It's middle of almost end of September, but I'm not complaining. It's a blessing. We'll take it. So
Absolutely, definitely.
all righty. So I think it's awesome. Your name is awesome. I love that you talk about sunshine and you're wearing yellow. So cool. Perfect. So what kind of inspired you to become a counselor in the first place and then a children's creative counselor? Like what inspired you to do that?
So my whole career has been working with children, and for I started, a long time ago, 32 years ago, I started working in nurseries, and I got to a stage where I was supporting the parents more and more because we were getting a lot of concerning, like, family worries around safeguarding and that kind of complex issues, really. So, and I'd kind of realized, I'm being told by my colleagues that, I do a lot of listening and observing. And at one point they called me the recording queen because I was the one that was always, it was pen and paper then. So it was writing directly into the child's file. And yeah, so and I heard things on the radio at the time, and it was really concerning. And it was like facts and data around 1 in 3 children under 5 would have a mental health condition.
Oh,
And
wow.
I could already see it with the children that I was working with. So the nurseries were for children under 5, so from 3 months up. And I worked in all the different rooms. And at this time, I was in the under 5s, and you could, so preparing them for school, and you could see there were just things. And as I say, I was speaking to parents more. So that was a kind of, you know, when you have a thought in your head, but you don't really know where to go with it, but you know that you want to make more of a difference. And I think that was the kind of the light bulb moment, really, more than anything, that there's something here that kind of needs to be done. And around that time as well, I was also having my own therapy, long-term therapy. And one of the therapists that I was working with, we were writing, they were kind of like journaling, I guess, because it was very much about here and now, there and then. So things that had happened in the past and things that were present that we were working on. And she asked to look at it at one point, which was obviously all, you know, consented. And she says that you could be a therapist. And I was like, no, no. And also that I could write a book as well because of what I'd wrote. Well, in fact, both things have come true. So, yeah, it was 12 years later that I got to that place. So, yeah, so that's how I looked into, realised that I wanted to do more. So I looked at all the different courses that were available and thought, I don't want to spend a lot of money. What if I don't like it? So I found a course that was like a level 2, an introduction into counselling, and it was £50.
Oh, wow. Go ahead, ask him.
Okay. How much is that in American money?
Oh, now you're asking me. Okay. I'm not really sure, actually. Your mum might know better than me, actually.
So I think that yours is higher than ours, definitely. So it might be like, I don't know the exchange, what it is right now, but it might be like 40 something, but yours is definitely higher. So when so I'm an author as well.
Okay.
And so when we would have like groups and stuff and people would say in pounds, then it was always higher. Like Canadian is higher as well. Canadian money, I think. Do they do dollars? German? I don't know if it's, yeah. So,
My mom said German is way higher.
oh, it's higher?
Way higher.
My mom just went to Germany and she's saying that she said it was way higher too. So, I guess ours is worth less than other. I don't know how that works, but not really sure either.
No.
But that's really cool. That's a very affordable class. Very good.
Yeah, it was 10 weeks as well, so it was worth it. And I learned a lot. And I was kind of like, oh, I want to do more now. I'd got the bug after that. At that time, my finances weren't very high and things. I was working full time. I'd got two children and who were teens. And really, I wanted to do this. So anyway, I could apply for a student loan, but that was for the level 4. And what I was expected to do was the level 3. Anyway, what happened was I went for the interview and they said it was going to be the 3 or the 4. And what they turned around and said is, you've got enough experience. So I jumped straight onto the 4, which meant that I could get the student loan.
Oh, that was wonderful. Very good. Awesome.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
So, what do you do to help like kids?
What do I do? So, I work with children and young people from 6 to 19 on a 1-to-1. So, like, it's not a group; it's just one child or one young person, and I support them like with worries around maybe school, relationships. They might have experienced something. That, you know, some loss, they could have moved house, loads and loads of different reasons. And instead of just talking, because I feel that talking is really hard, not just for adults, children as well, we do lots of fun things. So we do lots of creative things. So you get arts and crafts. So that might be painting and drawing, collages. I have lots of different resources around emotions as well. Puppets. Like sometimes we use things like imaginative play, so cars and dolls, loads and loads of different ways. And that's in a room. And then I also go outside into nature and work with young people as well. So the resources are what are around us in the environment.
Wow, that sounds awesome. I love that.
Does that answer your question?
Yes.
So how do you, and you might have just answered it, but how do you think that you bring sunshine into the families and the children's lives? I know you said you do lots of activities and you're creative, but what are some other ways that you really bring light and sunshine to them?
So I might be the first person that's listened to them, particularly the parent. And I think that's important for the parents to have that space. So the relationship, the therapeutic relationship is like a triangle. Mm-hmm. And, you know, because even though I'm working with that child or young person, it's so important to have that parent relationship as well. Don't get me wrong, sometimes you don't get that real strength, but when you do with the parent, then it helps the child as well. And in that, a lot of it could be about their own relationship. So me coming in, you know, bringing that kind of understanding and listening to what's going on with them, I often see their relationships start to repair. That for me is bringing the sunshine.
Aw, that's beautiful. And I'll just say from a parent's perspective, my son he has several diagnoses, but at 4 years old, he was diagnosed with ADHD. And then maybe around 6, he got diagnosed with, they don't call it Asperger's anymore, but autism spectrum. Yeah. And then he just kept getting more and more diagnoses. I was a single mom of 2 boys, and it was a lot. So all of his team was like my extra parent. So literally the dads lived in a different state. So it was just literally me. Sometimes I didn't get a break from it. It was just constant, which is, I'm not complaining because I'm grateful and blessed, but it was a lot. And so we ended up so my son had occupational therapy, and he had a counselor, and then a psychiatrist, and then we had a case manager that came to the house. And so we just had like a really solid team that helped with different aspects, but it was really good for him and for me. And so they taught me a lot, and so it kind of helped me. It was like I was going to counseling too.
Yeah.
Because I got tools that I needed to help, or like, you know, my son, I remember like he would have like psychotic breaks, like where he would just have episodes, and he would either scream or like hit or do all these things. And so the case manager would tell me not to scream back, which I know is not appropriate, but that actually stopped him, because then he would pay attention to me. So it didn't make sense to her, but like I didn't do it forever, but a couple times I would go too, and then he would just go like and look at me and be like, okay, hi mommy. And that, so like, you know, I mean, but every week was different. And so like sometimes timeout would work, and then he didn't care about timeout. And then sometimes taking something away would work, and then he didn't care about that. So like having their support really was helpful, because they would say, well, you know, try this. Or for example, he had a learning disability. So in school, when I would try to get him to do homework, they told me, they're like, you have to give him breaks. He cannot pay attention to something that long. So it would start to help, because he had a hard time reading. Other than occupational therapy, it really, really helped him. they helped him like learn how to read and everything because he has those like cross brain. I'm pretty sure he has dyslexia, but they never diagnosed him with it. But anyway, so the whole everybody, it's a lot of appointments, but it was a blessing. And now he's 22 and he's going into the army in November, and he's doing so well, and I'm so proud of him. So I'm very grateful for everybody that was our support, and like I say, my second parent kind of. So but thank you for what you do. And it's really important also, from even just my perspective as a parent, is like lots of kids, especially boys, and I have 3 boys and then her, they didn't want to talk. So doing fun stuff like you do is so smart and clever and amazing, because they don't know they're telling you something while they're just playing a game or drawing or something. They don't know that they're actually getting help, right? They don't know that. So it's cool to like, they're distracted and they're just answering questions and not paying attention to, you're asking them for a reason, right? But they're just having a conversation. So I think it's amazing that you do that. And it's probably a blessing to the families and the kids, of course. Do you have any questions?
What is the crazy scenario you dealt with?
What is the what?
Speak up. It's okay. Speak up.
What is the craziest scenario you've dealt with?
Craziest scenario. Oh, well, I've got one for you. So it might not seem crazy, but for me, it was very much. So when it was lockdown, I was working online with families. So like this, but instead of it obviously being 2 of you there, it would be just the child or the young person. And one particular young person really didn't want to be there. We'd got to about 3rd or 4th session, and we were kind of starting to build that relationship, but I could tell that it was didn't really want to be there. Anyway, at one point, this young person decided that maybe we're bored. I'm not sure. This was quite a while ago, and I was quite new into having a private practice then. So you're not sure what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
And this young person, probably about 15 or 16, something like that, got out a pair of eyebrow tweezers and started plucking their eyebrows.
In the middle of the session? Wow.
Yes. And I was like, okay, maybe it's time to have a chat with your parent.
Yeah, wow.
So yeah, that for me is the craziest thing, because that young person certainly didn't want to be there. But particularly, and I'll just say that it was a boy. Mm-hmm. So what you're talking about, like, boys not always knowing how to reach out and get that support. It was too difficult for them at the time. So yeah. And I sometimes find as well that parents make the referrals and they've got bigger worries sometimes than the child as well. So then it's getting that balance. So then I know who I'm kind of working with as well, which can be, you've got to be really sensitive to the family needs. So it's making sure that actually, who am I working with? Who is it who needs the support? And if I feel it is the parent, then I will look at ways that maybe I can support them. Sometimes it's with resources. Sometimes it'll be that extra conversation. Sometimes it's checking if they need additional, like, external support as well. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense that maybe this young person didn't really want to be there. And then the other one, this one was only about 6. And again, it was online. And this to me showed me really that working with young children online is not really the best way, but it was the only way at the time.
Yeah.
Was doing handstands across the screen.
Oh my gosh. That's something that my son would do, but he Yeah, he would do that. So he was at that time. So speaking of that, when they learned like through Zoom, not only just like, appointments with you and stuff, I want to ask her opinion. How was it?
Horrible.
It was horrible. So how did you because I know it was tough. I know that because she's my kid. How did you adjust to being in the classroom with everybody to now we're on lockdown and now we have to do it through a screen?
Well, it really was the same because, like, if it was in middle school, then it would have been a lot harder because it wouldn't be class to class. But it really was the same because we're just sitting in the same place all day. But like, you couldn't talk to your friend or like you weren't physically there, so it was a little harder. But I adjusted very easily. But I just didn't like the fact that we were on screen.
Yeah. I know, like learning wise, it was hard because the teacher, nobody knew what to do, right? They don't know what to do. They're used to teaching in the classroom, and then all of a sudden, what if somebody didn't have access to a computer, or what if, they don't have internet? Not in elementary, I don't think they didn't pass out computers today. Yeah, because so if people didn't have the internet or they didn't have access to computers, it's like, how does that work? Like the kid still needs information, and I think we had to like pick up stuff at school. Sometimes it would be like outside, or I don't even know, but it was tough. I mean, she one time had this project and we weren't supposed to be outside, but we had this project for probably science or whatever, and go collect things. So like a pine cone and this and that. And I think that was the funnest part of the whole situation. But otherwise, it was tough because even like listening on Zoom, the poor teachers were like you said, hey, pay attention. Hi, and what were you in, third or fourth? Third. So so they're young. I mean, 8 or not, and I don't know how old you were. That's so sad. 8. So they're not paying attention. Again, no offense. I love boys, but mostly the boy. Like it's you get distracted easily. I get distracted easily, and I'm 43. So so sitting in the same spot for hours trying to pay attention. Yeah, it was just tough. So I'm sure that it wasn't you. It was the fact that they were probably already going through that. Yeah. And then you're like, oh, now you have an appointment where you have to look at a screen. And they're like, no, thanks. I'm going to do cartwheels. And no, thanks. I'm going to pluck my.
Yeah. And when I think of like prior to like being a counsellor, as I said, I worked in nurseries.
Yeah.
All my training was around child development. So I understood that this isn't really right for them at this age. Do you know what I mean? But at the time, as I said, it was the way that counsellors were able to work, to be able to support families still. And we're still having the backload from lockdown now.
Wow.
It's 5 years later, isn't it, roughly? There is still families that I work with that it is about that, or it's left so many fears and so many anxieties because of what happened before. For example, one, not at the moment, but like historically, I've worked with a family where the child was fear of being sick. And I know there is that is an actual condition as such. And this one was about bereavement as well. And panic over health issues going back to lockdown. So, so it impacts us all different ways, doesn't it? And my job is not to tell a child what to do. And that is one of the things that I would say, particularly when we're setting the contract right at the beginning. First of all, that I'm only in your life for a small amount of time, because I feel that sometimes they expect me to be there and weeks and weeks and weeks. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And that could be 6 months, a year, 2 years, but it's still only a small amount of their life. And then also about that, we look at the contracts, the confidentiality is a big thing as well, really important. And and helping them understand at what ability and age they are as well. So again, we do it through creative ways. Because of the child development that I've done, I'm able to provide resources that I probably might have used in the nursery, you know, because you can adapt it and think, okay, so this child's 7. Actually, they will probably enjoy being in the sand. We use sand a lot. I've done a lot of extra training on sand around sand play. And one of the biggest things that I've learned, because when you do these workshops, it's about your own understanding and awareness as well. And one of the things from it is about that sand holds your emotions.
Oh, wow.
Some really powerful sessions using the sand. And then I've had other ones where they use it just to calm themselves down, just that sensory exploration. And I work with a lot of families where they're either possible traits of neurodivergence, like you're saying, autism, ADHD, or they're on that waiting list, or they've already been, you know, assessed and they've got a diagnosis. So a lot of the families I work with now are kind of under that umbrella. So sensory is so important to help connect, which you will know yourself with your, you know, what you've experienced as well.
Yeah, that is so awesome. I never thought of sand like that.
Our school counselors use sand in their office.
They do?
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear what she said? She needs to
They
speak
have
up.
a
Sorry.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So I'm also a school counsellor as well. Up to July, I was employed and self-employed, and I've now stepped away from the employed side, and I'm fully self-employed. Except because thank you so much.
Yeah, congratulations.
No, it's a big thing. I'm still processing and adapting. But I needed a little bit of extra security, so I've stayed at the same job as a school counsellor 1 day a week. And what I find is when I'm speaking to parents through my business, that it helps them understand a bit more, because I'm in school as well. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of see both sides of it.
Yeah, that's amazing. I literally just interviewed somebody that does the same thing. They have their own private practice, but they stayed in school like just twice a month or something like that as a counselor as well, just to stay in the loop. And you know, it really does help. But I think that's awesome. Having a business is so tough. So good for you.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of you. I think that's awesome that you're doing your own. Yeah. And you have more control in your own practice than the school can control things or say, hey, I don't really like if you use this or da 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 da. I don't know. So that's really, really cool. Now, McKenna is in drama this year, and I love that you do theater, or
Yeah.
that's so cool.
I started February last year. I've been part of choirs. I was in school, and then I had a big break, and then I realised that I needed something for my well-being and my mental health. And I was drawn back to choir. So I went to loads of different like local community ones. And then the last one that I went to was the year before. And the lady who did it, she was amazing. She had so many different talents. She author, write, poetry, sing, all sorts of kind of things, and teaching as well. And the songs that we learned, they were like mashups, and it were awesome. It was just so awesome because you had to think more, you had to be creative, you know. You know, and when I finished that, and part of it was because she was ending what she was doing for loads of different reasons, which was sad in some ways. And I was going to continue there, but it was the other side of Leeds. And then I was like, I'm not really sure if I want to do this. So I didn't. I was doing a qualification at the time. to extend my learning and knowledge around working with children, as in counsellor therapy level. And that's part of the reason why I had the big gap. And then I started missing something, and there was something missing out of my life. I thought it was a relationship because I've been single for quite a few years. And I put something on Facebook about different groups. And then I came, and there's like one over the road from me, an amateur dramatics. And then there's some others. Anyway, I went nervous as anything. I've seen the videos of us practicing. I'm like, oh, I look like I've aged till about 90. My body was hunched up. I didn't even have a straight back. I was just all curved. I was moving really slow in the first dance that we were learning, and not many steps, just more movement and a bit of acting. I was absolutely petrified. Anyway, I guess it's like 18 months later. So we do 2 shows a year. One is a summer show, and the second one is a pantomime. So I've done a summer show last year, which was called 9 to 5. Then we did Wizard of Oz pantomime December. Then this summer we've done what's called like a review. So it's loads of songs and dances, but it's not based on a big musical. And then now we're practicing for Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Oh, that's awesome. Do you know what you guys are doing yet?
Okay, so they said that we can't do like Disney Juniors because those are too expensive, and it's it takes a long process of time to get it approved and the scripts and everything. Yeah. And so we can't do that, and we can't do a musical because it costs money to download the music. So we're not sure what we're gonna do yet. They really make their own plays, and they like write the scripts and everything. Wow. So I think they're still working on it, but we're going to learn the basics first, so like where to go on stage and like dance lessons before we do anything.
Do you find it nerving, McKenna? Get nervous?
Well, when I was in Moana, I did, but this year it's pretty calm because it's just a school play, and they're like normally like an hour and 30 minutes, and after that it's done. So
I need some of your courage then.
Yeah, really. So let me tell you, I was supposed to be in Les Mis my 7th grade year, and then we moved from Germany to it's a shame. We moved from Germany to West Virginia, to a little tiny town in West Virginia. And I was so excited, and I was confident, and I was excited. And then I went to high school, and my friends were in the plays and stuff, and they go, come audition. And I did dance, and I was in the band, and I would go to audition, and I would never audition because I was scared. And even the dance recitals, I would be so nervous, the dances are like a couple minutes long, but I would be so nervous. And you shouldn't really regret stuff, but when I look back, I really wish I would have been brave enough to just do them, because I was very good. I always wanted to be an actress. I just was like a chicken. So, so my oldest son, who's 24, was he's very introverted, and so he did. And when we were in Ohio, he did theater, and he played a nightingale in a cage where he literally whistled a beautiful song, the whole entire song. He whistled by himself, and I was so proud of him because he was so scared. But I think it was called something Nightingale.
Wasn't I there?
Yeah, you were there when you were little, because they're 12 years apart. So yeah, Sean. Yeah. So she was very little. She was like maybe 3 or 4. No. But anyway, so I was very proud of him because I was surprised that he did it. And then he had some other small parts. He never wanted like the main parts, but he still, I was very proud that he did just go up there, and because he has very bad social anxiety. He's a cook, but he does still have pretty bad anxiety. I'm very proud of him. Again, he's done a lot of great work, and he's a lot different than he used to, but he had like bleeding ulcers. Like it was very, very severe. So yeah, so I'm very proud of him. He went to concerts this year. Like he's like really doing, he's doing great.
Can I add something?
Yeah, add.
My drama club teacher said that if I don't audition for the lead role, they're gonna sign me up for it.
What? That's illegal.
Yeah.
Did you hear her?
I did. And is that what you want?
They just said I have. They said if I did it before, I can do it again.
I see. So you've already done a lead role.
Yeah, but it was out of school. It was like an out of school club.
Yeah. So tell her again that you're in Moana.
I was Moana.
Amazing.
Thank you.
I was a squirrel.
Was she? I'm sorry.
Well, last year, the first show that I was in, 9 to 5,
Yeah.
I was a squirrel.
A squirrel. Oh.
I was a squirrel, yeah, because we were all the forest woodland animals.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was funny. It was really funny, and I think that's what I've noticed with the Colwickkirk Arts Guild, and with there's always lots of humorous parts. Even in this pantomime that we're doing now, there's so many funny parts, and I think that's what's great about it. So yeah. But I was a nervous squirrel. I had the biggest, bushiest tail ever, and some little like a headband, a little, like little ears. But once I'd got into it, I absolutely loved it. That was my favourite part of the whole show. And obviously, I had different costumes to wear. But being that squirrel, we were singing and dancing. But for some reason, I seem to have learned that one the best and know it the best and the most confident.
Well, you go, squirrel. You go, girl.
So yeah,
he doesn't think I'm.
It takes time, doesn't it? I never danced as a child. The opportunities wasn't there. Both my daughters danced when they were teens, and then went into it in adults. But I never did. So when I went there, that was the first time I started dancing. So you can imagine. The shakes.
Yeah.
Just like, what have I walked into? But now, I mean, I still get nervous. I mean, we auditioned for the pantomime and I couldn't even hold my sheet of paper. I was that nervous. But I still did it and still got through it because my confidence has built up through. And it's also helped me as well within my business, within my job, within my personal life, and be more confident.
Yeah, I'm super proud of you because I don't know how old you are. You don't have to tell me, but I think that's amazing. Like going for something that you love and that it brings you joy. Like later on, like, oh, I just want to do this and learn it. And so that's so awesome. Like that's so awesome of you. I wanted to ask you, what is the book that you're in? The collaboration. What is it called?
So it was in 2022, and she's called Cassie Swift, and she's wrote, I think it's about 7 books, which some of those are collaborations, and this one's called Hold On to Hope, and it's there's 19 of us, I think, that have all wrote our stories, and mine's about self-discovery from where I were to becoming a counsellor, a children's counsellor. So yeah, I was very proud. It was cathartic. It was a cathartic experience, and it was really nerving. And there was a brick wall at one point where I was like, I can't do this. And then the support, she was so supportive, and it was so lovely. We had extra support through, like, we had tapping sessions and things like that, really, to just kind of bring you to that level. And I was really nervous because it was not something I've not done before. So I kind of got my edit, my draft, and my daughters were allowed to read it as well. And one of them said, And I've not really thought about it because I experienced childhood trauma and then into adulthood as well.
Mhm.
And one of the things that one of my daughters said is, Mum, I didn't even realise that you'd gone through all of this, because my main job was to protect my children.
Yeah.
You're not going to share things, are you? You're not, certain things you're not going to share. So yeah, it's a beautiful book. I think my chapter's chapter 21. I think.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm in a different book collaboration now. It's not going to be out till next year, and it's very different is this one. This one's more about kind of stepping out of the box, doing something that's not in the box, being different, allowing yourself to kind of make that change. So in some ways, without kind of sharing loads of information about it, mine's around my creativity, because that has kind of took me to different places in my head, in my mind, and also opportunities as well that's come from it as well. And just not working as a counsellors are amazing, but I'm certainly not a normal mill of a counsellor. For a start off, I love to be silly. Do you know what I mean? I'm not afraid to be silly or anything like that. And sometimes I guess a counsellor can have a really serious role, a serious job.
Mm-hmm.
No, if you want a serious counsellor, then you're best going to a different direction. Go have another look for somebody else, because you're not going to get that from me at all. I tune in to the children that I work with, and for instance, like one particular child was that full of buzzing of energy. They couldn't sit, they just couldn't do anything. I went, right, come on, let's do some movement, do some movement.
Yeah.
And 5 minutes, their nervous system had calmed down and they were ready to do whatever they wanted to do. So I feel that's really important. And the other thing that I do is create a toolbox. That's what we do. We create a toolbox so that they've got something, and it helps them, whether it's resources, whether it's, again, it's ideas or strategies and things. They've got something for when they finish working with me, and also them in between times as well. And they'll come and they'll say, I've been doing my breathing. And they've never breathed before. They've never done them deep breaths. It's been the kind of thing. And then they'll come and say things like that. They're the little things that make me smile.
Aw, that's beautiful. You're making a huge difference in their lives. And it's good that, again, that people can be silly. So, for example, she's 12 and she's in 7th grade, and it's been tough, but sometimes she'll say, I have to do that all day, because I'm like, why don't you watch a video that you can learn? She's like, I learn all day. So if you can be, and I feel like I'm silly too, huh? Sometimes she's going to say, now that she's older and she's a sassy muffin.
No,
Are you a sassy muffin?
No.
Yeah.
So you're silly. You're silly whenever you don't ask me to clean.
What?
Oh,
because you're serious. You're not silly when you come home from work because you're tired.
Oh, thank you. Sure, I'm not. I'm a nerd.
You try to be silly, and some jokes are funny, but you can tell you're tired.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not that silly when I come home from. You're right. I work 12-hour shifts, sometimes longer. So I'm not in the best silly mood in the world, and it's late at night. Sometimes I don't pick her up till like 10:30 at night, and she has school. It's not always 11. Sometimes. So yeah. So no, we're both not silly. She's tired. I'm tired. But for the most part, like when we go to different places or whatever, or go to the store, and what I'm grateful for is that she's not that embarrassed of me yet, but it will get there. At this age, that's when they're starting to be like, like, oh no. My boys, when they were in high school, I'd be like, I love you. And they're like, Mom, stop. But But yeah, I like to be silly. I think it's fun. We dance and we do all kinds of stuff because it's good to like express like you're doing with people. It's good to express yourself in different ways and get your energy out and have fun. And she's very creative. So she's very, very good at lots of things. She draws and like I said, she plays 2 instruments. She's and yeah.
Thank
So
you.
but yes, so I am so that was funny. When I asked her to clean, no, I'm not silly, I guess, but
even cleaning can be fun.
yeah.
Sometimes if I don't have to do it.
If you don't have to do it, really. I know. I don't like cleaning either. Maybe I passed that bug. My brother had severe OCD, and so he loved to clean. And some of my friends have OCD, but not only people with OCD love to clean, but there are some people that I have that are friends that love to clean.
Yeah,
not me. I don't love it either. But yeah. Some people find it like relaxing and stuff. I find it as a chore. But it is a chore. I agree. So anyway, this is why we're called authentic, because we are so authentic. We just say whatever and do whatever. But you want to ask about it?
Bit like me on my podcast, and in my life as well. Yeah. How you see me is how I am. I never pretend to be somebody I'm not.
Exactly. That's how I am too, because like how you see me like out in the world is how I am here or on my Facebook or whatever the case may be, or with my clients or in my book. Like I am just me, and that's how we should be. So, and I love that you embrace uniqueness in the kids. We should be ourselves. If we were all the same, how boring and horrible would the world be? It would just be great.
True.
Yeah.
Can you ask because I forgot the question?
No, if you can go back.
You just said it.
I'll say it. She always asks this question, but she's not.
No, I forgot it, and then I did.
Fine.
I was because she said, "Do you want to ask a question about the 13-year-old?" I was like, "I'm 12."
No, okay. So we ask every episode, for the most part, I believe we ask this. If you can go back and tell your 13-year-old self something, what would it be?
Oh gosh.
Good catch.
That if there's something that you want to do, then just do it. There might be barriers, there might be challenges on the way, but there's always somebody out there who can help you.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Good one.
I agree. Yeah, because that's very true. That's something that I wish that I would have done, like I just said, but also to not worry about what other people's opinions are of you, because that stopped me from doing a lot of things when I was a teenager. And you're not taking everybody else with you, right? So it shouldn't matter what everybody else thinks. But I think like at this age that she is and older, you do have this, I don't want to say complex, but you do worry about what is such and such going to think, or blah, blah, blah. What if I do this? Or what if they don't like it? Or what if they stop talking to me or whatever? And so, but if you base your life off of that, you're missing out on maybe the most beautiful, maybe your purpose in life. You could be missing out on living in it because you're scared of, letting somebody down or scared of what people think. So,
yeah. And one thing there that comes up quite a lot with the children, young people I work with, is about that control, that we can't control how others behave, how others think, what others say, but what we can control is how we see ourselves, how we look after ourselves, and kind of that kindness as well to ourselves.
Very, very true. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Something that I love, and I don't know if young kids do this, but I try to get her to do them, is positive affirmations. It has changed me so much. Like I used to not have the best confidence or self-esteem. And so it really has helped me like every day. Like, and I do it in the mirror. I smile at myself. And if I miss it, I like will be driving and not very smart to do this, but I'll be like looking up at myself every once in a while trying to say them because I feel like I have to, like it makes me feel good when I look at myself and say them as opposed to just saying them out loud. And I smile at myself, and I like the other day I noticed like, and I'm not trying to brag in any way, but I just turned 43 in August, and so I looked at my skin when I was saying my affirmation. I said, "Oh my gosh, my skin's nice. Like I don't have a lot of, like wrinkles and all this, and I don't even use a lot of cream, so I'm very blessed and grateful for that." But like I never would have looked at myself in a positive way before. I would have never noticed something good. Like I would have seen all my freckles or this and that or whatever. I have dark spots now because I'm aging, But I saw and I said, "Oh, my skin is pretty smooth." Like, wow, So it's good to like notice the beautiful things about yourself, because we all are unique and beautiful and wonderful and handsome if you're a boy. But just like there's so many amazing things about yourself that you might not realize because you might be focusing on negative things. So, yeah.
So,
You got anything to say?
Thank you for being on the show.
you are welcome. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you.
It's on there.
Well, she has other stuff. Just ask.
Where can we find you?
Because it's on there. There's
So I can see my link at the bottom. So that is my website. You can find me on Facebook, which is also SJR Counselling, and Instagram, which is also SJR Counselling. And recently I've gone on TikTok, but please don't ask me the link because I don't know.
Yeah, I just started TikTok for my side business that I'm doing. You're gonna follow her? Oh, nice. She's gonna follow you.
Okay.
So yeah, the younger generation loves TikTok. So for you and your like that's a really good place if once you get into it, is that the kids might say, "Hey, kids that want to do counseling," because again, some of them don't. But hey, mom, I saw this counselor giving really good advice on TikTok. Maybe we should message her or something. So it's a good avenue for you to be in, I believe.
The other places, I'm on a counselling directory called Psychology Today. And on there, I've done, I think it's about a 15-second video of just a little bit about me in 15 seconds. So you can see kind of my personality come out that way as well.
Awesome. I love your personality. And I wish I would have had somebody like you with my son. I love his counselors. I purposely got men though because he didn't have a dad in the house. That's true. Why do you say, oh?
I wasn't expecting that.
Well, that's the truth. I would ask for men counselors, but I mean, but they were very like, so it was like straight faced and stuff. And I loved them. They were great guys, but it was just having a little bit, especially because he has all those diagnoses.
Yeah.
You don't pay attention to somebody sometimes that's just like, so like,
no,
like just monotone. But again, they were great and they did help and I love them. But all right. So
breaking news.
Oh, you want to say it?
No, I just want to say breaking news.
She wanted to say breaking news. Okay. Breaking news, as McKenna says. This will be our last episode.
Wait.
What are you doing? Oh my gosh, she's writing breaking news. This will be our last episode. We're taking a break, and there's a lot of S's.
Breaking news.
In the
I love that.
You can tell we're silly, huh? Okay. So
I like it.
Breaking news, as with lots of news. McKenna and I are taking a break, and it was going to be only for October. Really?
Sorry, I just
sound
like
effects.
I just like a sound.
Anyway, our guest would like to leave, McKenna. Okay, so we're taking a break all the way until January. I will miss you. I will be posting the ones that I have not posted yet, which I'm very behind. So you can watch all of the ones that you might have missed live. There's lots of episodes that I'm behind, literally like 12 or 13. You can watch those. Maybe it will last you all the way till January. I don't know. But thank you, everybody, for being a fantastic audience. We love you so much. We just have a lot going on. If you know my life, you know I have a lot going on. And so I just wasn't able to pay attention as much as I need to the podcast. Thank you so much, Sam, for coming on. You are so awesome. Thank you for being here, I have something funny. You were the first person to fill out the survey thing that I sent, and you're the last guest of this season. So
A long time.
9 months ago. You filled it out 9 months ago. I was like, whoa.
No way. Oh my goodness. Oh well. I'm late for everything, so
it's all right. Yeah. But thank you so much for coming on and being awesome and bringing sunshine to our podcast.
Aroma.
And aroma.
Yeah, bringing sunshine to our aroma.
Oh, I love kids. They're so fun. I don't know what that means.
No more breaking news.
What is? I don't know what sunshine to the aroma means.
Like
but
aroma, as in smell, vibe. Like
you
everything.
smell the vibe.
No, like the vibe, the smell, the
Oh.
feel.
Oh, okay, the feel, the smell, and the vibe.
I smell
Got
the
it.
aroma.
sensory exploration, maybe.
Sure. All right. But thank you so much, Sam. All right, everybody, have a beautiful, blessed rest of your Sunday. You are in the future, so it's later in the evening for you than it is for us. But I love to say in the future. So it's really not, I mean, it's really not, but
Is it Monday for them?
no, it's not Monday yet. It's just later in the evening.
No, it's 9 o'clock here. What time is it for you?
4:02 in the afternoon. It's past my bedtime.
It is not.
I'm
You don't
kidding.
go to
No.
bed.
I'm kidding. No, I'm talking about Australia.
She's not in Australia.
Oh,
Australia's like 14 hours ahead. They're very
England.
Her-
England.
your,
England.
Your accent sounds Irish to me.
What?
Oh, does it? Okay. I've never lived in Ireland.
Sounds like Merida.
She sounds like Merida?
Yeah.
Merida is Scottish.
Oh, Scottish.
Scottish. Oh, I've got Scottish descendants.
Oh, that's awesome.
See,
Yeah, you
I
can.
can hear it.
You can.
Can
Oh,
you?
right.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm proud of myself.
Oh, you knew that she had Scottish.
Last night, I said we were at this event, and I said play "Como la Flor," and then the girl started singing "Como la Flor," and she didn't even hear me.
Nobody heard her. She said that they were gonna
Play "Como la Flor," and then she started singing "Como la Flor."
it
I was like,
it was Hispanic Heritage concert we were at for free. It's so cool. The park by our house does a lot of beautiful concerts. So we went, and it was the only song she knew, a Spanish song, and then then they did it. So that was really cool. So anyway, she's just bringing that up because she's saying about the Scottish thing. That's what she means.
I like
So.
that as well.
Yeah, get that.
Okay. Well, thank you. We will let you go. Have in your evening, and thank you. You've been awesome. I appreciate you, and have a great day, Sam. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
everybody.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.